Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how to make these beautiful flowers. They are very easy to make, and if you are interested, I can also show you how to create a blanket using these flowers. Just let me know in the comments below if you want it or not. Now let's get started. So we'll start with the magic ring. If you are not comfortable with or don't like using the magic circle, you can chain 4 slip stitch into the first chain, chain 1, and then start the first round in the loop created by the chain. But I am starting with the magic circle. Chain 1, and we are ready to start round number 1. And round number 1 is a 6 single crochet inside the magic circle. So this is your first single crochet, second single crochet, third single crochet, fourth, fifth, and the last one. Now pull the tail to close the magic circle and slip stitch to the very first chain. So here, slip stitch. And we are ready to start round number 2, and we will make 2 single crochet into each stitch, and we will start in the first stitch. Here is the first stitch, so make 2 single crochet into each stitch. You should have 12 stitches altogether in round number 2. So this is your first single crochet into the first stitch, second single crochet into the first stitch, first single crochet into the second stitch, and second single crochet into the second stitch, and continue around. And when finished, make a slip stitch to the first stitch, and let's start round number 3. In round number 3 we will work in the sequence 1 single crochet into the next stitch, then 2 single crochet into the next stitch. So 1 single crochet into the first stitch, then 2 single crochet into the second stitch, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, then 2 single crochet into the next stitch, and continue all around. You should have 18 stitches all together in round number 3. And when finished, slip stitch to the first stitch and cut your yarn. Now grab the other color, so I have choose the pink color. Insert your hook into any stitch you like. Put the new color onto your hook and pull through the stitch. And we are starting to make a petals now. Chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and let's start row number 1. We will start this row in the second chain from the hook. We will insert our hook into the second chain. Now yarn over and pull up the loop. Insert your hook into the next chain. Yarn over, pull up the loop. You have now 3 loops on your hook. Insert your hook into the next chain, yarn over, pull up the loop, next chain, yarn over, pull up the loop, and insert your hook into the last chain. Now insert your hook into the same stitch where you started the chain. So you should have 7 loops on your hook altogether. Now yarn over, pull through first 2 loops. These 2. So yarn over, pull through first 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through first 2 loops. yarn over, pull through first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through next 2 loops, yarn over, pull through next 2 loops, and yarn over, pull through last 2 loops. We start row number 2. Now we will insert our hook into the 3rd loop, this one. Try not to crochet too tightly, as it will be difficult to insert your hook into this loop. Okay, so insert your hook under the very first loop. So it might be a bit difficult, as I said, I recommend to not crochet too tightly. Yarn over and pull up the loop. You should have 2 loops on your hook. Insert your hook into the next loop. Yarn over, pull up the loop. You should have 3 loops. Insert your hook into the next loop. Yarn over, pull up the loop. You have 4 loops. Insert your hook into the next loop. Yarn over, pull up the loop. You have 5 loops. Insert your hook into the next loop. Yarn over, pull up the loop. Now, because we want to increase the number of stitches in this row, we will insert our crochet hook under the back loop. So not under the front one, but the back one, and we will do this only in this row, okay? So we have 7 stitches so far. And now insert your hook into the next stitch on the gray circle. This one. You can work over the tails as well, so you don't need to sew them inside later on. Now you have 8 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through next 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 2 loops, and yarn over, pull through last 2 loops. So we will not increase anymore. Row number 3. Insert your hook into the first loop, yarn over, pull up the loop, insert your hook under the next loop, yarn over, pull up the loop, under next loop, and next, and next, and the last one. Do not insert under the back loop anymore. Just go direct into the same stitch of the gray circle. Now yarn over, pull through. So again, you have 8 loops. Yarn over, pull through first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through next 2 loops, yarn over, pull through next, and continue until end of the row. Row number 4. Insert your hook under the first loop, yarn over, pull up the loop, insert your hook under the next loop, 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 and now insert your hook under the next stitch of the gray circle. And again, you can work over the tail, so you don't need to sew them later on. Okay, so here, insert your hook here. Now again, you have 8 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through next 2 loops, and continue until end of the row number 4. In row number 5, we will skip the first loop, so we will insert our hook directly under the second loop. So skip this one, insert your hook under the next one loop, yarn over, pull up, next 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 loop, yarn over, pull up, and insert your hook into the same stitch. Now you have 7 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through first 2, yarn over, pull through next 2, and continue until end of your row. And row number 6, we will make just slip stitches. So insert your hook under the first loop and make a slip stitch. Insert your hook under the next loop and make a slip stitch, and continue until end of the row. and the last stitch. Okay, so this is your first petal done. Now I will show you one more time the second petal. So we will have 6 petals all together. So once again, slip stitch to the next stitch and make 6 chains. So chain 6. Row number 1, starting in the second chain from the hook, insert your hook into the second loop, insert your hook into the next loop, into the next loop, into the next loop, into the next loop, and insert your hook into the same stitch. Now you have 7 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through next 2 loops, yarn over, pull through next 2 loops, and continue until end of the row. Row number 2, insert your hook under the third loop, yarn over, pull up the loop, insert your hook under the next 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 loop. Remember row number 2, in row number 2 we increase our stitches, so we insert our hook into the back loop of the last stitch, yarn over, pull up the loop, and insert your hook into the next stitch of the gray circle. So here, not here, here. Now you have 8 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through next 2, yarn over, pull through next 2, and continue until end of the row. Row number 3 and 4, they are same. We will insert our hook under the third loops, and we will have 8 loops altogether on our hooks. Insert your hook into the same stitch of the gray circle. Row number 4, again insert your hook under the third loops. Insert your hook into the next stitch of the gray circle, so we use 3 stitches per 1 petal, so we have 18 stitches altogether in our gray circle, and we use 3 stitches per petal. And now we will start to decrease, so we will insert our hook into the second loop from the hook, five, and we will insert our hook into the same stitch, which is 6. So we have 7 loops on our hook. Now we are coming back, and the last row we will just make a slip stitch, starting with the under the first loop, second loop, and until the end. Okay, so make 4 petals more. So as I said, we will use 3 stitches per 1 petal. Okay, and that's it. That's the flower is done. If you like the video, please leave thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.